total allocation is 6,978,460,988. Our recommendation, Mr. Chairman, will be explained after going through the tabulated figures. You will see nothing is written under recommendation. The second is federal government staff housing loan. The proposed budget is retained by our committee. Same with the third Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON. Same with number 4, West African Management Development Institute Network. The proposed budget is retained. Same with number 5, Federal Training Center, Ilorin, Federal Training Center, Enugu, Federal Training Center, Kaduna, Federal Training Center, Lagos, Federal Training Center, Maiduguri, Federal Training Center, Calabar. All their proposed budgets were retained. Public Service Institute of Nigeria, number 11. Bureau of Public Service Reforms, number 12. Agency number 13, Federal Civil Service Commission. Number 14, National Salary, Income and Wages Commission. 14, National Assembly Service Commission. All of these have their proposed budget retained by our committee. Number 16 is Military Pension Board. We have a recommendation that I will address later. You see, nothing is written under recommendation. Number 17, Department of State Service, DSS, Pension Unit. Number 18 is National Intelligence Agency, retained as well. Number 19, Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, retired, is retained. And the last but not the least, National Pension Commission, PENCOM, proposed budget retained as well. Head of Civil Service of the Federation, in our submission, informed the committee that the approved 2022 capital budget ceiling of the Office of Head of Civil Service Headquarters was 1.9 billion. However, in the 2022 appropriation bill presented to the National Assembly by Mr. President, the approved ceiling was reduced to 1.8 as a result of the removal of the critical line item, which has an allocation of 40 million, earmarked for the annual MDA's Rewards and Recognition Award. The annual MDA's Reward and Recognition Award, according to the head of service, is one of the key enablers of the ongoing reforms in the public service. Please find attached a copy of the request from the Office of the Head of Civil Service, which is also supported by a letter from the Budget Office. The Head of Service appealed to the committee to restore back into the 2022 appropriation bill line item, allocated the sum of 40 million, bring the total amount of capital fund to be appropriated to the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation to 1.9 billion, as earlier allocated to the office by the Budget Office. The Budget Office is admitting that this was an omission of 40 million, and we are recommending that this 40 million be considered by this honorable committee as justified for the Reward and Recognition Award, which is a very important component in the public service. The second aspect is the request for allocation of additional fund for the Military Pension Board. In the course of scrutinizing the 2022 budget proposal of the Military Pension Board, the committee observed that funds proposed for the agency is grossly inadequate and cannot sustain it within the 2020 fiscal year. Mr. Chairman, having gone on oversight visit at the headquarters of the Military Pension Board, we saw the infrastructure, we saw the assets. By the military tradition, most of their locations, they have to be housed within either it is barracks or any of the places where they are located. So a number of housing programs have been put in place within the location of the military pension board where they house their staff, and most of these houses and the quarters will require a lot of maintenance, running costs of generators, water supply, electricity, and maintaining the entire environment. It's a very large and expansive environment, and we felt there is need for them to have additional fund on the overhead to be able to maintain the structures to avoid dilapidation. So we are recommending 480 million in addition to the overhead of the military pension board to enable it maintain the environment, the houses, and the infrastructure, subject to the consideration of this honorable committee.
The document has spoke for itself. However, when you look at the endorsement page, it was endorsed by the Senate committee only. I strongly suggest if they will harmonize with the House so that it will make it easier for the distinguished committee in view of time, so that if the budget will be a harmonized budget.
And therefore, I expect that whatever he's presenting here will be fit and proper. Therefore, I move that he be allowed to take a bow and go so that we can do our work.
I've expected this and we've seen that. So thank you very much. I will advise other chairmen to take a cue from what you are doing.
I think it went on very well. My committee isn't the heavy one. I deal with senior citizens of Nigeria. That's the pensioners. They're very senior citizens, and we made presentation to make a case for them. So far, so good from the government. And from the report, as you might have heard, we have only two areas of amendment. The first is the issue of the award and recognition in the office of the head of service. You know, as a teacher, you know, and you all know when you're in school, when you do well, you deserve to be given an award. And this was introduced. Unfortunately, this was inadvertently left out by the budget office, as much as about 14 million. And we thought this should be reverted back. The second amendment is to do with the additional overhead cost of the military pension board. The military pension board has a permanent site here in Abuja. They have a lot of structures, and unlike all other services, the military always need to have accommodation within their service areas. It's just like the barracks. We cannot afford to have our military taking rented houses in town. So they have built a lot of staff houses, but little money to maintain them. The structures are getting dilapidated, and we thought there's need for additional money. We are recommending 490 million for them to maintain the structures and maintain the environment, supply electricity, and let them be very comfortable. You know, anybody that is paying money out, if he's not comfortable, the temptation is there. But if they are comfortable, they will be serving these people. And the payment of pension to military, police, and all armed forces is my passion. And we want to make sure they are sufficiently attended to. These are issues that are to do with the Pension Act of 2004, which was amended in 2014. Right now, we are in the process of re-amending and reconsidering the Pension Act. In fact, in the next couple of 2-3 weeks, my committee and that of the House have agreed, together with the pension agencies, to go on a closed-door retreat. We have identified close to about 20 to 25 areas that need to be amended to address these agitations. You know, laws are subject to be reviewed. Sometimes it's when you come to operate and then you discover the loopholes and keep on plugging them. I'm sure after this review, and probably in the next quarter of our session, will be bringing to the Senate and of course to the House areas that need to be amended to address the little problems that are there.